And we're really happy to have. Been looking forward to this all week when I found out I was going to be filling in, and Todd said, "Well, your guest on Wednesday is Stacy Ghost from Velvet and Suede Travel. We appreciate you stopping by."
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
I always enjoyed having you on the show when I was doing it on a regular basis.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
So we're talking trips, and I asked you to pick a particular trip that you wanted to talk about this morning, one that you've been on in the past, and you've chosen Italy.
Italy, yes. Italy is a dream location for lots of people, and it's so diverse that it offers something for everyone. And so, you can drive it. You can do the train. There's just lots of different ways to navigate it and see all the different things that Italy has to offer. It has great cities and lots of culture, wonderful food and wine, and there's just something for everyone. Beautiful beaches, history, architecture. There's just everything.
So you've been there. You were telling me before we got on the air that you've been there 3 times.
Mm-hmm. This will be my third time to Rome, and yes.
So you're coming up on your 3rd trip into Italy.
Yes,
been there twice. Tell us about your first trip. What did you do?
The very first trip was done with a teacher friend of mine, Cindy, and we wrote grants, but it was Grants for Teachers program, and it encouraged teachers to travel, to go learn the things that they want to teach their students. Cindy taught Julius Caesar in her English class, and I taught how to put presentations together. I taught computer, and we did research projects, so we wrote a joint grant to go to Rome, and we walked all over that city and it was amazing. So we went to Rome, saw lots of things there.
What did you see that you really liked in Rome?
Just the antiquities. It's amazing standing in front of the Colosseum. It's amazing to see the Vatican, St. Peter's Basilica, and not just St. Peter's, but St. Paul's is really my favorite. And there are so many other churches.
St. Paul's, that's another cathedral in Rome?
It's another basilica, yes, in Rome. And
what's the difference between a basilica and a cathedral?
Structure. So, I don't exactly know, but basilica has to have so many wings, from my understanding.
Bigger then?
Well, not necessarily.
Okay.
Not necessarily. The cathedral, there's different portions, different building structures, and it can all be, you can have a basilica and have a cathedral in there. So there's a lot to it. So there are so many different churches there because, it didn't all start out as just this huge, vast, sprawling city. There were churches here between, and it's built on hills. And so it's all filled in since then, of course. So, seeing those things were amazing. It was interesting to see the structure of the streets, how on the map, it looks like you are 6 blocks away, but those 6 blocks may be, from one street to the next could just be, maybe 50 yards. I mean, it didn't have to be very big or even smaller. So you could think you're going to walk 6 blocks and you cross streets and you don't even realize it. And because they seem a little more like alleys, it's just very interesting to see how all of that, how it works together.
It's not like New York City where 6 blocks is a long way.
Yeah. And it's on, pretty much a grid. You have different areas, but this is, it's built how it's built, however they put it together. And the Roman roads are awesome. We went to also Pompeii. We went to Naples and Florence, took the high-speed train to Florence. And so it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. And that kind of is what started me. That's where the travel bug bit, because since then, I wanted to go anywhere I can. So it is, it was a antique. It's a culture of antiquities, but at the same time, it's new and there's modern things. It's just very interesting to see it all. A lot of graffiti there. It's interesting how, you can have this wonderful, building that everybody has seen, and then right in front of it, there's all kinds of graffiti and things like that. It's arid there in Rome. Now, Italy also has mountainous areas, the Dolomites, that are beautiful. Lake Como is gorgeous. Venice, of course, and then on the other side you have the Cinque Terre, and you have the Amalfi. This time we are going to visit Puglia, which is evidently where the Italians choose to holiday. And so it is on the Adriatic side. It's the little hill of the boot, and it's a long, narrow region, and we're also going to visit Tuscany. So while we are still going to do Florence and Rome, we are opting for things that we haven't seen yet, and that's what's wonderful about travel. There are so many wonderful places to go. You can always discover somewhere new while still going back to favorites. So
when you were in Rome, did you go inside the Vatican or the
yes?
What is it called?
Well, Vatican City, and so you have the Sistine Chapel, and you have St. Peter's, and is that
worth going through?
Yes, absolutely. I don't know that I would need to go. I've been twice, so I'm not going to go this time. But my friends that are going with us, I certainly encourage them to go, because everyone should see it. The art there is amazing.
If you're not a Catholic.
Even if you're not a Catholic. There's a lot to learn, a lot to see. The museums in the Vatican are amazing. There are special tours that you can take that will take you down into the it's not the cellar, it's a sub, even further lower than the basement. All kinds of architectural things going on down there. And that's, of course, a special arrangement, but they do have them. And I had people go last year that went on that tour. And so it's just amazing, the things that they, archaeological things that they're finding there. Like I said, the St. Paul's Cathedral is my favorite. It's just different in presentation. I mean, and it's laid out differently. The paintings, the art has a different focus, and so it's just very interesting. It's diverse. While some people may think that there's so much of it's the same, it's really different, especially when you look at the subtleties. The gargoyles on the outsides of the buildings, just the differences in that are very interesting. And not being a tour guide and knowing everything there is to know about that, it's interesting to wonder why they chose what they chose. So it's just vast in what it has to offer.
So did you go through the Sistine Chapel?
Yes.
What did you think of that?
It's way smaller than it looks. It's very crowded most of the time. I mean, you see pictures with no people. I don't know when that is, but there's people there all the time, and it's a very long, not super narrow, but more narrow than what you think. The ceiling, of course, is just gorgeous, and you walk through looking up. So, but you just kind of are scooting through because there are so many people there, and it's supposed to be like silent. It's very reverent, and the beautiful doors on either end. Those are very symbolic. Lots of stories told, and all of the doors are different. You have those doors with different reliefs of different biblical scenes, and like the Duomo in Florence has one, has doors with certain scenes, and then in the Sistine Chapel, there's one with different scenes. So, I mean, and they're at
so
lots
it's worth
of
going through to see.
Absolutely,
if you're in Rome.
Absolutely, and you want to have tickets pre-purchased, because now, I mean, it's crazy how many people there are, and it's good to have a guide. You don't want to go to any of those big iconic places without a pre-purchased ticket and a guide if you can at all manage it. Sometimes it's hard to know exactly when you're going to be where, but a plan will help you, and that's where travel agents can come in.
That's what we're going to talk about when we come back.
Okay.
How do you get on one of these trips, and how do you go about planning it? So stay with us. You're listening to The Right Time for Western Oklahoma. Stacy Ghosts, our guest on the program from Velvet and Suede Travel.
Conservative, Republican, endorsed by President Trump, Frank Lucas.
I hear over and over to fight and protect what matters most. So I stood with President Trump and championed the Save America Act to require proof of American citizenship, to prevent illegal immigrants from voting in our elections. And as a grandfather to 3 granddaughters, I oppose biological males from competing in women's sports. I'm Frank Lucas, and I approve this message because protecting elections and the integrity of women's sports in Oklahoma, well, we always protect what matters most.
Frank Lucas has worked with President Trump against the woke, radical, DEI-loving liberals who are trying to destroy our country. That's why President Trump has given Frank Lucas his
complete and total endorsement.
On Tuesday, June 16th, Conservative, Republican, MAGA. Frank Lucas for Congress. Paid for by Lucas for Congress.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. Stop paying the big guys twice what you need to. Dial pound 250, say my name. That's pound 250, micro, to switch to Pure Talk, where the savings are truly unlimited.
Deer Creek Market and Variety in Hydro, the best in friendly small-town customer service, hosting everything from fresh hand-cut steaks, fresh ground beef made in-house, along with fresh fruits and vegetables, grown and made in Oklahoma nuts, candies, salsas, pickles, and more. And don't forget to check out the Variety side, full of unique made-in-Oklahoma gift items. And now, treat yourself to the brand-new ice cream and coffee parlor, your new go-to spot for a sweet scoop or a fresh brew. Shop Deer Creek Market and Variety in Hydro.
Running for Oklahoma governor ain't supposed to be easy. You gotta be tough. So Mike Mazzei's whining and crying as we learn about his liberal record? Tough luck, Mikey. See, while President Trump crushed the woke left, Mike Mazzei allowed transgender surgeries in Oklahoma. That's right. Mazzei voted to allow a taxpayer-funded hospital to hide children undergoing radical gender reassignment treatments, sex changes that transitioned boys into girls and girls into boys. But that's not all. Trump's MAGA movement would have been crushed by Hillary Clinton if Mike Mazzei got his way. Mazzei voted to remove Oklahoma from the Electoral College, going to a national popular vote that would have rigged the system for crooked Hillary Clinton.
Thanks, Mike Mazzei, for trying so close.
A transgender ally endangering our kids, a Clinton lover and Trump hater, MAGA phony Mike Mazzei, woke, radical, and just too liberal for Oklahoma. Paid for by Make Oklahoma Great Again, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. 601 South Boulder Avenue, Suite 610, Tulsa, Oklahoma 74119, 918-947-9459.
David, do you need a new dishwasher?
I don't need a new dishwasher right now, but if you do need a new dishwasher, Bosch is the #1 ranked dishwasher in the U.S. They're extremely quiet. They offer superior cleaning performance. They're reliable and durable. We are Bosch Direct, so we will not be undersold on any dishwasher here that you're looking at.
Financing available 12 months, same as cash here at Topfest. Topfest and Bosch. Get your dishwasher today. That's Topfest on the corner of Main and Custer in downtown Weatherford.
I'm Jessica Weingart, and I'm running for State Senate District 26 because rural Oklahoma deserves a strong voice at the Capitol. I know the challenges our farmers, ranchers, teachers, and working families face every day because I've lived them. I've worked in agriculture, served our local schools, and my family depends on the oil and gas industry. As a graduate of rural public schools and a mom raising daughters in public schools today, I'm invested in Oklahoma's future. On June 16th, I'd appreciate your vote for State Senate, paid for by Jessica Weingart for State Senate 2026.
724, Western Oklahoma Wake Up Show. With us this morning, Stacy Ghost from Velvet and Suede Travel. We've been talking about her trip to Italy and possibility of a trip for you to Italy, if that's something you want to do. So how do people go about working that out through you?
Well, again, there are several different ways to see Italy, of course, and there are tons of prepaid tours that make it easy that you don't have to think about anything except paying, getting there. Lots of companies at different levels to do that. So you can, that's something that you can find a tour already put together for. Another way is to curate a trip just the way you want it. I have a couple of ladies in Italy now that they wanted to go, first of all, to like this international dog show. That was because that's their business. And then they decided they're going to stay there a while, and they are on like a 3-week trip. It's a grand tour. And so I curated a trip for them. They rented a car and they are traveling throughout Italy and France and staying in some amazing places because those are curated. You can pick and choose. So
what do you mean by curated?
Put together especially for you. Picked from the wide buffet of everything that each of those countries and those places had to offer. They chose where they wanted to go, how long they wanted to stay. We worked through their itinerary, and they are staying in some. I don't think that they're not staying in any conglomerate type hotels. They are staying in boutique, very specialized hotels for their area. And because it's curated for them, they could make changes somewhat on the fly, so they had some issues with this. And this one lady, she does have mobility issues. And so she took a collapsible scooter, and it got torn up somehow, but they were able to, because of our wireless, the phone lines and all the things, and being able to contact very easily, thousands of miles apart, we were still able to find her a new scooter. The people at her hotel helped her get what she needed, and she says it's actually a better deal that her other one, wasn't functional, because this one was so much lighter and smaller, and it has done wonderfully for her. So, I mean, mobility issues, they certainly don't help the situation, but if you want to go see something bad enough, there's a way to do it.
So you help them plan their own trip, or you can go on a tour.
Absolutely.
Either way.
Cruises too.
If you are interested in something like that, give Stacy a call.
Yeah.
She'll work with you on the trip, not only Italy, but other places.
Pretty much
I know people want to go like to Ireland because they have heritage and family, maybe going back to the Irish, or it's Scottish. You've been to Scotland, I know.
And Ireland. Absolutely. It's wonderful. And the Scotland trip, I have done both ways, with a pre-played tour and a curated one where we pick and chose our route and our hotels and Airbnbs. And
which way do you like doing the best, or what way do you enjoy the most?
I enjoy driving it and having the flexibility. The good part about pre-planned things are that you don't have to worry about it. Somebody says be on the bus at 8:30. You're on the bus at 8:30, and you don't have to handle your luggage back and forth. You don't have to do all those things. Though that is a wonderful and you don't have to worry about the traffic because somebody else is navigating that for you. There's just there are pros and cons to all of it. The con to that is that the driver can't, enjoy things and look around as much, but they also have the choices whenever they're driving themselves that you can pull off and look, or you can say, hey, let's do something different today.
So if somebody's wanting to do a trip, you're one of our sponsors on Thomas Sports.
Yes.
We appreciate that very much, but tell everybody how they can get in touch with you and how that works.
The easiest way to get a hold of me is to simply Google Velvet and Suede Travel. And you can even just Google travel agent near me and I will come up. I have a website that you can go and look there. You can contact me through that website.
What is that again?
It's a contact form. It is velvet-suede.com.
Velvet-suede.com.
Yes.
So, it makes it so easy today to find people and get in touch with people compared to 10 years ago and because of the internet.
Absolutely.
It makes it so easy, and you can see things and look for things, which is helpful in planning a trip, I would think.
Right. Oh, yes, it is. And study, research, those kind of things is always good, just because you don't know what you don't know until you know.
Exactly.
And so, you miss things. We've all done that, like you with the Last Supper. The thing is that you may or may not realize how much there is, and there's always something to see everywhere you go. But like I said, if you don't do your own a little bit of your own research, then you won't. Maybe interest won't even be sparked. But when you look and see, you realize how big and how much there is to see, and it just changes your perspective.
Can you stay with us for a little while this
Absolutely.
morning till 8 o'clock? Okay, we'll visit more towards the end of the hour with Stacey Ghost, but let's go now to the latest in state news, and we have John Matthews coming up, so stay tuned. You're listening to the Western Oklahoma Wake Up Show.
News from the Radio Oklahoma News Network. I'm Ken Johnson. A Midwest City man is federally charged after he allegedly made a threat against President Trump on social media. The Department of Justice says 46-year-old Howard Gimme posted earlier this month that he would kill the president. If convicted, Gimme faces up to 5 years in federal prison. Among the 6 Republican candidates for lieutenant governor is Victor Flores. State Capitol correspondent Trey Davis has more.
Flores says the lieutenant governor should be a unifier, and he'll start with tribal governments in the state.
For the last 7 years, we've had an opportunity to work closer together, and we have to. They're Oklahomans. They may be Native American, but they're also Oklahomans.
He says Oklahoma is the crossroads of commerce, and internal squabbles only damage the state's reputation across the country, making it more difficult to recruit business and industry to the state.
Radio Oklahoma News Network, I'm Ken Johnson.
Manufactured career politicians built to serve themselves, like John Eccles. But Jeff Starling, he's not part of the political machine. He's a pro-Trump outsider and an honest broker who puts Oklahoma first. Starling's a husband, a father, pro-life, and a man of faith. In the courtroom, Starling has upheld the rule of law and taken on the tough cases. He stood up for our farmers, our oil and gas producers, and our law enforcement. And Starling will protect the Second Amendment from radical gun grabbers. As Attorney General, Jeff Starling will take back control of Oklahoma farmland from China, protecting what's ours. And Starling will work with ICE to keep criminal illegal immigrants out of our state, because our safety comes first. A political outsider, a trusted pro-Trump conservative through and through. That's Jeff Starling.
Authorized and paid for by Starling for Attorney General 2026.
State Representative Anthony Moore.
Rick Cook tells it like it is, and he doesn't back down. He's tough. He's direct. Rick doesn't care about political games. He cares about getting results and standing up for our values. I need Rick fighting right along beside me in the Oklahoma legislature.
Conservative businessman Rick Cook will fight to secure the border, protect rural Oklahoma, and stand with President Trump. Rick Cook for State Senate. Tough leadership, real results.
Hi, I'm Rick Cook. Help me make Western Oklahoma great again. Paid for by Friends of Rick Cook, 2026.
34 minutes after 7 o'clock, joining us now is John Matthews. John, you're in the newsroom, I think.
I am here. Yes, sir.
Good. Also, we have Stacy Ghost with us this morning.
Hey, good morning, Stacy. How are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm great.
It is exciting times. I'm logged into my OK Voter portal. Harold, I know you've seen this thing where you can put your first name, last name, your birthday, and it tells you not only does it tell you your sample ballots and your voting location for the upcoming election, but it gives you kind of a history. I was looking, my first time I voted in Oklahoma, Harold, 2008, in a November election. I don't know what I voted on, but it gives me my full-blown history.
Well, you voted for me, probably. I hope you did, because that was my first, that was my election for getting into the House of Representatives.
There it is then,
November 2008, yeah.
And then, it kind of goes through.
I hope you voted for me.
I'm sure, of course I did. And even if I didn't, there's no way I'm telling you that right now. No, I'm just kidding. Of course I voted for you, all 7 times.
Yeah.
Was it 3 times?
Well, just, it was 3 times the first time around, and then I didn't have an opponent until the last election.
Okay.
And so just one opportunity to vote in that last election in the primary, but I was blessed not to have an opponent for all but one of those the last year.
Stacy, have you seen the primaries coming up this Tuesday? Has this been more mudslinging? And I literally just saw a commercial on a TV of a picture of somebody flipping somebody off, showing that, hey, this person, look at their history. And is this not wild right now?
Well, this dark money has really changed the landscape of political campaigns. When I ran in 2008 the first time, there wasn't dark money. And so we didn't have the mudslinging in the House race or the Senate race back then. Now they even have it on the local level as well as the national and state level.
It just seems to be, like I said, a lot more, the mudslinging for sure. It makes you just crave next week's election.
You don't know what to believe on those. And you shouldn't believe the mudslinging. Just remember, take that with a grain of salt, because there are a lot of those ads on right now, disparaging ads against different candidates. Do your own research. Try to figure out who you think is best.
But it's hard, because we discussed earlier, for example, was the corporation commissioner.
Yes.
I know nothing. And I'm a pretty informed person. And I could not tell you one way or another of whose would be better for the state of Oklahoma right now.
Well, Brad Bowles, I can tell you this much about the Corporation Commission. I served with Brad in the State House, and he's a top-notch guy from Marlow. Owned and operated a business, sold it, and started another business. Family man. I would that particular job. Nobody knows about those folks.
No.
And so, but anyway, I know him, and I highly recommend him.
All right.
For what that's worth.
No, that's worth a lot. You actually know what's going on.
Take with a grain of salt, but because you got to make your own decision. But those are hard. Those down ballot races for the labor commissioner,
insurance commissioner,
all those are down ballot. What they call down ballot, and a lot of people don't know the candidates.
No,
do you know them, Stacy? The down ballot candidates? Any of them?
Not many.
Yeah. You start with governor. Most people know about that race, right?
Yeah.
And you probably already made your mind up on that. But the rest of them, sort of hard. Lieutenant governor, most people probably know who they're going to vote for there. But after that, and we've got a local guy running. He's an incumbent, Todd Russ, for state treasurer.
Right.
And they've really slammed him. The dark money does not like him.
Huh.
So they've been on his case.
And then what's the attorney general? I don't know. I know there's Starling and Eccles.
Yeah.
No idea.
Well, I served with Eccles. He's a great guy. I can tell you that. I don't know much about Starling.
No, but again, like I said, all the mudslinging going on right now. What do you believe? Either way, it's Tuesday, Harold. You're going to go vote, or did you absentee?
I have not voted yet.
Okay, I didn't know if you did.
Probably go over to the election board and vote before the Tuesday election. You can vote through Saturday of next week.
Yeah. No, early voting begins today. Is today? Am I making that up or tomorrow?
No, I don't think so. I think it starts. Yeah, it starts today, I think.
Yeah, I think it starts today.
Or tomorrow.
Thursday, Friday, and then
we should call the election board and find out.
I'll go call Ann Brown.
Yeah.
We'll find it all out.
All right.